Marine tank when there's no medevacs around, the tanks will obliterate the Marines, shooting the Zerglings, and it lets your mutas clean everything up. Unfortunately, I need to make a few more Banelings than usual since I don't have anything but Speedling Baneling. And I am going to lose that lair. Once again though, looking at the income tab, I'm still ahead, and I am remaking my lair. And it's not like I needed it, I got my Spire started, so I'm in good shape right now, even though things are looking bad. As long as I can clean up this attack. So, I am making mutas, and I'm not going to rush in and try to attack this because I know he can't do any damage from there. He needs to move. So, he does move out, and there's not too many tanks, so I decided to just go for it, and luckily for me, I am going to be able to clean up all those Marines with those Banelings, as well as finishing off his tank. But, again, more reinforcements coming. Luckily, now my Mutalisks are out, and we're pretty much even on supply. I am expanding again over here because, as you can see, I've got tons of money. Because I took so many drones in the beginning, I haven't been able to spend my money because he killed this base and I don't have the gas to make mutas. So, coming over here, that one Baneling doing huge damage, and gonna let my mutas... Oh, I guess not. They should have cleaned that up. But it's always annoying to have your mutas deal with Marines, and then there's too many. There's a few more than you thought, and you lose a lot of mutas to a couple Marines. But I don't even think he kills a single drone here. Maybe one. So as you can see, my money's still skyrocketing, and now my goal becomes to make a giant Mutalist ball. Because when you play, I think someone said that Moro has been working on this style, when you go for heavy mutas and a lot of Zerglings with minimal Banelings, every fight that happens, everything dies except your Mutalisks, and Zerglings are a lot cheaper and faster to make than Marines and tanks. So here he comes, decent sized force. I was killing this to make sure he couldn't do that. Give himself vision again. If he wants to push me like that, he's gonna have to scan. And I do have this fourth base up, getting my queen, having her waddle over there. So I'm feeling in a pretty good position, just a little annoyed that he did kill all of my lings at the watchtowers. And once again, I have the money, but I only made 8 Banelings because I'm not interested in wasting all my resources and then having them all die to tank fire. So I could see he was going down here for my third, so I'm going to get ready to engage him. And he didn't siege up there, so I pulled back. When they siege up this far away, it's a good opportunity for you to either do some Mutalist harass or to flank, because the Marines are going to be moving forward. And there they are in the back, going to get 2 basically free tank kills here. And the Baneling's going to do huge damage again to those Marines. Still making tons of Zerglings, because once again, looking at the income, I'm still ahead, and I just need to make sure I don't die here. So I'm not sure what to call it, but I guess it's a principle that when you've got this much money, you should be just expanding, and not under the thought that you can protect the expansion. It's under the thought that your opponent can't kill it. And what that means is, if I were to expand over here, he wouldn't be able to go over there and attack it, because I would be able to counter and kill his main in exchange for, you know, 1 extra expansion. So once again, look at this, barely even using the Banelings. Cleaning this up and lost all my Zerglings, but all the Mutalisks survived in exchange for all of his tanks and his medevacs. So back to the production tab, I'm still trying to increase my Mutalist numbers, and a little bit of a miss micro here. My Zerglings were a bit late, which resulted in a few dead mutas. I'm going to fly them away and come back with these Zerglings, because the AI for Marines does target the ground lings before the Mutalisks, so I'm going to need those in there to buffer damage. Back to the income, I'm still ahead, and I now have 4 hatcheries up, so once I finally reclaim all this territory, get the Xel'Nagas back, I am going to be able to drone like a madman. Back to production tab, still just making mutas and lings. My muta ball is getting to a nice size, and I want to make sure I don't die to a bunch of stimmed, upgraded Marines. So once again, just making a couple Banelings. Starting to take my gases back, because I want to start making a big number of mutas. And here he comes again. Now I notice his army split up, bad positioning there by him. So with a couple Banelings under the mutas, I'm more than happy to kill these Marines and to come back and clean up these tanks. Still, he's being constantly aggressive, so I'm just going to keep making Zerglings. As well as the Infestation Pit. When you know that they've been sitting on Marines for this long, especially with the new fungal growth, Infestors are amazing against giant Marine balls. So, gonna snipe off any tanks that I can, getting 2 kills there, which was awesome. Still just getting that pathogen glands upgrade and back to the income. Still ahead with a lot more bases, and once again, if he were to come in and somehow siege his base, I could just evacuate them over here. Now, while you're under pressure like this, the reason I didn't expand multiple times is because under pressure, he could do a medevac drop and take out these bases, so I want to wait until I have all the Xel'Naga towers fortified and I have my army all set up. That way I'm ready for anything that he can throw at me. So at this point, I'm not too concerned. I know I'm ahead. I know I have insane production capabilities. Getting those Infestors, because that's going to basically stop any number of Marines that he brings. And also mixing in a couple drones. So I can finally go do some Mutalisk harass. And gonna drop a Spine Crawler. That's going to help delay medevac drops, and if he decides to drop up on the cliff, got the Overlord here for vision. And now that I have everything that I needed, now I'm starting to expand to the corners. Now, once again, seeing him move out, I pulled my Mutalisk back because I don't want to let him get right to my door and siege up. So I'm just going to intercept him, try to snipe off a tank or two, and force him to siege up all the way out here. If he actually just kept walking, I could just obliterate him with my Ling, Baneling, Mutas, and Infestors. So I want to hit him before he gets to the Xel'Naga Tower, because that's going to give him all of his vision. And there he goes sieging up, and I get 2 very nice fungal growths off. And then I'm good to move in, because his tanks are going to kill all of these Marines for me through splash damage. So cleaning up his entire attack, and not with too many Banelings, and all of my Mutalisks survive. So as you can see, got some good saturation going, mining off 3 base. He does have more income than me at this point, and that's because he's probably dropping a crazy number of mules. But I know he's really hurting for money, and as long as he hasn't expanded out here, or here, which I checked here already, so he's probably only mining off 2 base maybe, since his main is definitely mined out. So he actually didn't make this into a planetary, but I actually just had enough mutas to come in here and destroy everything. Rather than chase the SCVs into Marines, I decided just to focus the orbital, because if I kill this, his income is going to suck for the next, like, 2 minutes. And sacrificing a few mutas to make sure I kill it. I was droning during that time, and still getting more Infestors, just because I can see all the way out to here. So when he moves out, I'm going to be ready to start fungaling, and he's going to have to cross all this distance well under fungal growth. And then even still, look, 15 drones being made, and I can do that because I'm just massing Infestors. My income is going crazy now. I'm almost have double his harvester count, and starting to mine up at this expansion as well. Got my hive. Infestor, Broodlord, Corruptor is my favorite composition against Terran, just because it's so powerful. And here he comes. At this point, I know this is basically his last push. I could probably, with this many Infestors, kill this entire push with just fungal growth. Assuming I don't lose all the Infestors to tanks. So, gathering up my army, gonna pitch in on him before he sieges, and then just gonna fungal growth everything that I see, even the tanks. And one Baneling getting in there and just obliterating everything. So, still these Mutalisks are all surviving. I know the game is over at this point because I just have way too many bases, way too much income, and my tech is basically completed. I could have been keeping up a bit better on my upgrades, but I was just trying to make the giant Mutaball. So just checking if he is taking that third again, and he wasn't ready to give up yet. Back to production tab, getting Burrow, just because at this point, Burrow Banelings, like I'm waiting for one more all-in push with his SCVs or something. Also going for the Broodlords and the Infestors. Making sure he hasn't expanded.
Mineral field depleted.
So, another good thing about this map is, I'm assuming he didn't use Thors because the walk distance from our bases is so far, and Thors would have helped a lot to deny the Mutalisk, but they would slow down his attacks so much. And if you notice, I haven't made any roaches, and that's because he had no Thors. If he included some Thors, I would have added some roaches to help soak damage. And continuing to expand. And I'm good to move in with my whole army. Even if I were to lose this, I have more Infestors coming, and Infestors are crazy good at stopping pushes now. So I can see that he basically has nothing left. Spamming fungal growth on those Marines, and GG's. So, good game. Gonna go cast a couple more. Probably gonna start posting some tutorial videos on specific strategies that a lot of people like to use, and how to hold them off. So let me know if there's any specific strategies that you want me to cast, and hopefully I've played a ladder game against some type of video like that. And once again, still looking for that ending. I don't know how to finish these videos. So let me know. Send me a message or message me online, and I'm off to cast a few more games.